Okay, I need to stop driving in 2 lanes. This is like the worst area to do that too. So there's always going to be a cop somewhere around here. Because there's not actual crime in Franklin. You know, it's funny, I do a comedy with like some Hispanic people, and you can tell that they watch too much CNN. Well, it's fine, you know. You can tell, like, the comics that, oh, they think that this thing is funny because, like, oh, people are going to agree with this. It's kind of like the clapter, you know, back when Donald Trump was the president, people could just bitch about Donald Trump. Oh, dude, speaking of that, what's really cool is that there was this guy in the audience who really liked my my stuff. A black man. And does not mean more, apparently. Well, I understand why it would. Like, if you're white and you can make black people laugh, like, yeah, I think that means something more. It does. Because it's a culture thing. But, yeah. I'll have to show them to you guys. They're stickers with Donald Trump on them. Basically, like, declaring that he's going to fucking jail. So obviously this guy's liberal, or he just hates Trump, one of the two. A lot of people hate Donald Trump. I'm indifferent. He's just a showman that's really entertaining, and he did some good stuff that most people either don't talk about or don't know about. And that's fine. I mean, he wanted it that way, so. Here's the thing, y'all. I use Twitter, at least I did, when I first got on the internet, and after I started doing comedy, and then I started this YouTube channel, I was using the internet the way it's supposed to be used, and sort of figuring things out. So I was using Twitter as like a historical reference, basically. Just looking up tweets from various people, but one of those people was Donald Trump, because I was just trying to figure out what he was doing. And I was reading a lot of his old tweets, like from like 2012. And he just knows a lot of shit. So, now a lot of people say that he's like part of the nephilim. Like that breed. Like giants, right? So that makes sense if he's like kind of a giant in this world. I mean, most definitely. They won't shut up about it. So much so that when they weren't talking about him, it was just weird. It was like something was missing. What is it? Yeah, I just think it's really weird that people are so like obsessed with him. Like this whole idea that he's going to fix everything, or this whole idea that he's going to ruin everything. It's just very strange. And I feel like it just proves how badly people need a hero or a villain. You know? And I think that's true of a lot of situations. Like, take out politics. I mean, people do this shit at work. People do this shit online all the time, where they're just always fighting with people, you know? And a lot of the times, you know, because we spy, That's what I feel like we're doing anyway. We go on social network. So you see this a lot with the Twitter feeds. But you definitely see it with YouTube and comments and all that. Now, granted, there's a lot of shit that people talk about in the YouTube comments that's really, really sad, and you can tell that people just can't wait to tell somebody. Now, I used to think that, like, the internet was just a place where you could lie. And you could just, like, make yourself up to be, like, whatever you want to be. But I feel like that's really what people wish they were. Like, they want to be ugly. So they say stuff online that they wouldn't say to somebody in the real time. Like, if that person was actually in front of them, they probably wouldn't even talk to them. You know? So the internet's just, like, making people think that they can just be this character or something. But it's really who they are. It's not... I mean, maybe it is an exaggerated self. Like, I mean, like what I do. But this is comedy, motherfucker! This is comedy! This isn't a social network! This is my yackity yak, okay? But comedy is, like, based off of your perspective. It's based off of, like, shit that you've learned over the years. And you know, little twists and turns that you've made that you can find comedic, and you can take that from tragedy, you can take that from pain and anguish and all that. So yeah, it just seems like with the internet, like that realness, that, like, humanity has just been zapped out of people. And so people don't have that, like, genuine experience where they're, like, connecting with people and they're understanding, like, what's going on, or they're realizing some truth about the world, or some truth about their experience. You know, I just don't think that people do that anymore. So maybe I'm wrong, though. I hope I am. I hope I'm wrong about every motherfucking thing. But what was I saying before? About arrogance, competition, all that. People want to make everything a competition. Just to let you know, if you disagree with something that I'm saying, I am not competing with you. Okay? I am not. I promise I'm not competing with you. If you think that I am, you are projecting, son. You are projecting. Because that's not something that I desire to do at all. Because I know that we're all on a different path. So it doesn't make any sense to get mad at somebody for the path that they're on and the lack of understanding they have. So if they don't understand something, you best explain it to them, rather than just be a cocky motherfucker, you know? But see, I get this all the time where people just, like, they're obviously confused and, like, they stare at me or whatever. And I wish they'd just ask, like, what's your gender, you know? I wish they'd be as ballsy as that, my friend's 7-year-old daughter. But, you know, they chastise for her that, they, blah, 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 blah. They chastise her for that. They said that shit's rude. You shouldn't put somebody on the spot like that and ask them about their gender. That's fucked up, you know? Well, they didn't use those words, but... And I was like, relax, man, she's a kid. And it's fine. I mean, that's what's so cool about kids. They don't care. They'll just ask you stuff because they don't care. It's totally innocent. She wasn't saying it purposely to be rude or anything like that. You know? But she was genuinely perplexed. Is she a girl? I have girl parts. And they're really good girl parts, okay? But I have a brain that has a lot of logic for a woman. So, that's what's going on.